you want to get on TV, you only got 3 networks, then hey, if you can just take out producers for dinner and drinks at those 3 networks, get to know them, you have a client, you call them up, you get them on. Now, something happened along the way, which is all of a sudden, cable TV came along, proliferated. All of a sudden, you have social media coming, and the lines between what is TV on mass media and what is an online TV show kind of blurred. And so all of a sudden, you can't rely just on personal contacts anymore. We'll talk about what a story idea is. So this is what changed. 1, media proliferated. 2, local became global. Basically, you could pitch a local story to a local TV station in Portland, Oregon, and if it was a good enough story, that story would start spreading. We've had clients who, I'll show you one of our case studies, a story that we originally pitched locally that spread to 21 countries, 209 media outlets around the world. If a story is good, you can't even keep it local. It's going to spread. It's going to go global. And then finally, the 24-hour news cycle. So what that means is, because TV news became on this rapid pace, you don't have time to, if you want to reach 100 people, you don't have time to call them or email them one by one if you want to be in the story, because the story is happening today. Right? We have one of our clients is a company, a Y Combinator alum company called CrowdMed. They do this thing where they crowdsource medical diagnoses, and they've solved these really hard cases that like regular doctors sometimes can't solve because they've never seen these extreme cases. They can solve them. So we saw last week that on Facebook, maybe you saw this viral story, someone posted a picture of their daughter on Facebook, and a Facebook friend saw this picture, noticed something in the daughter's eye because their child had this kind of condition, and may have saved the daughter's eyesight because she saw it on Facebook. So now we're thinking, wow, we have 24 hours if we're moving fast to talk, even though it wasn't on our client's platform, this is the power of crowd diagnosis. We got to leverage this, we got to move past. So 24-hour news cycle. So all this changed, it means that you need a different way to approach the media, something that's more scalable and that's faster. And that brings us to PR hacking. And what is PR hacking? So as we go through and talk about getting TV coverage, I'm going to talk about the 10 laws of PR hacking along the way and kind of apply it to TV. Now these laws work for newspapers and magazines and radio and online too, but we're going to focus on TV today. But these laws are at the kind of the core of what we do at PR Hacker. And also, I should introduce, before we get started, just a couple other people who are here today. So one is Anne Murray in the back. Can we all say, hi, Anne?
Hi, Anne.
Can you say, what's up, Anne?
What's up, Anne?
You rock, Anne?
You rock, Anne.
Okay, that is Anne Murray. So Anne Murray is a critical person. The 3 of us have really been there from the beginning, and she is emailing on the phone every day with, really dozens, hundreds, via email, thousands of media outlets. So she's going to be a great resource if you have further questions, myself, her. She's really great. At PR Hacker, we place on average 1,500 to 2,000 media placements every month for our clients. So we do this at like massive scale. So she's a great person to talk to about that. Then also over there, Cody Pittman. Can we say, Cody, what's up?
Oh, what's up?
Okay, Cody, laying it down.
Cody.
Okay, so you guys are back. Okay. So Cody. Okay. Say it one more time. Cody, laying it down.
Cody, lay it down.
Okay. So Cody is also part of the team, and one of the things Cody's specialty is A/B testing, and we're going to talk about that, measuring the conversion rate, and also optimizing deliverability. And we'll talk about when you pitch a producer for a TV show, makes a huge difference on whether they'll see it and ultimately be interested. So Cody handles a lot of that. He's a great resource, and of course, myself here today. So, what is PR hacking? I'm going to get into all these rules. I didn't realize this until I've been speaking around San Francisco the past few months, and I didn't realize everyone was doing this, so I thought I'd made it easy. So if any of you, I know some of you are taking photos or stuff like that, and if you're doing any live tweeting, this is just for us. Our PR Hacker, our Twitter, we're at PR Hacking. That's me personally, at Benjamin Kaplan, my full name that only my mother calls me. But you can at Benjamin Kaplan is me. And then we use, if you want to just follow what we're doing and kind of interesting stories we're doing, if you kind of follow hashtag PR Hacking, you'll see all the PR hacking going on. So feel free to take photos if you want to kind of live tweet or anything like that. Go right ahead and you can use that. So, first point's about PR hacking, and then we'll get into TV. The whole goal of PR hacking is to make traditional PR scale better. Traditional PR was built as a relationship business, one-on-one individual pitching. And what it turns out is, for the reasons we mentioned, you got to make this scale faster. So we do things to make PR hacking, to make PR scale better with PR hacking. One of the things we do is we love, our first choice is to pitch through email. We like pitching. We will pitch through phone calls. We will pitch through LinkedIn, InMail, we'll pitch through tweets. But we like email for a couple of reasons. One, because we can track it. It's something we can track conversion rates. And two, if we pitch the wrong person, it gets forwarded to the right person. Right? It's something unique to email. So there's a lot to say. So first of all, that's one way we make it more scalable. Two, we A/B test. So if we're going out with a story and we're pitching TV stations, we don't go pitch Good Morning America tomorrow. We test it on local stations in San Antonio, Texas first. And then we compare it to some other kind of small station in southern Florida. We test, we A/B test, we optimize. When we get the story right, then we go to Good Morning America. That's another way we make it scale better. So thinking analytically, A/B testing, optimization, all of this is at the cornerstone of what PR hacking is. In our experience, this is just compared to traditional PR. PR hacking is 6 times more efficient. We'll talk about how we are able with a single click to pitch 5,000 people at once, but have every single person we pitch get a personal email, does not look like bulk. We merge sometimes more than 10 different fields in, talking about their beats. We spend a lot of time tagging every single media outlet to do this at mass scale. So first thing is, we're generally 6 times more efficient. We usually pitch in, for us, in 4 months, usually what takes a traditional PR firm 2 years, just based on the way we pitch. And the second thing is that we're 25 to 100 times more effective. And so one of my kind of goals is to kind of like speak to, and it's great all the kind of PR professionals are here, because just ways to augment what you're doing to become more effective. For our typical clients, usually we average 25 to 100 media hits per month for them. Typically on average for most PR firms, it's usually like 1 per month or something like that. And that's not, and it's just a more scalable method is why this works better. So for everyone who's here is at a startup, you're doing this yourself, you probably don't have that much time, as much time as you'd like. This is helpful. Okay, so 10 laws of PR hacking, and let's apply it to TV. So the first law is to build strategic context around your product. The strategic context is what makes your product newsworthy for TV. Let me give you an example. Raise your hand if you have ever done this. How many people here have ever made out before? Okay, good. We've all gone through puberty. That's excellent. Okay, so, this is not newsworthy. This is a couple making out. But what if I told you that in 2011, some of you may recognize this photo, this was one of the top 3 most published photos in the world in 2011. Who here recognizes this photo? So the question is, why is this so newsworthy? What is something that is, we've kind of like all done, isn't important, why is this newsworthy? And the reason is because of all of this around it. It's happening during the middle of the Vancouver riots. Okay? So it begs a lot of questions. Why is a couple making out in a riot? Why are they making out in the street? What's going on? All of a sudden it's newsworthy. And actually, if you're curious, the backstory is just that this guy's girlfriend fell down, was freaking out in the middle of this riot, and he wanted to calm her down. She was kind of panicking, and so what he thought to do, as any good guy would do, is kiss his girlfriend, right? So that's the backstory, but it raises all these questions. So my hypothesis and my suggestion for all of you and your products is that this is you. Basically, there's so much noise. There's so much going on in the world. I mean, in fact, if you're going to be featured on the Good Morning America, guess what? You're competing with the search for the missing airplane, right? They have a finite amount of time. Whatever your product is, you got to compete with that. War breaks out in the Middle East. You're actually competing with that. I've actually been bumped twice from national TV shows from war breaking out in the world. Okay? So you're competing with that. So in the scheme of world events, whatever your startup may be, or your company, or cause or product, it's actually not that important, most likely. Now, it's probably the most important thing to you. For me, my company, PR Hacker, is super important to me, but in the context of the world, probably not. So what you have to do to build strategic context is you have to build this. All this stuff around your product, which makes it all of a sudden incredibly newsworthy. And we're going to talk about how you build that together for TV. Here's an example. One of our clients is a company called Kloof. Kloof has an app that is for pet lovers. What they do is basically it's Instagram for pet lovers. Share photos of your pets doing cute things. Now, at the time they came to us, they had 0 users, 0 traction. So if we go out and we do a press release and we say, new app, helps you, let the world know your pets are cute, it's not going to get a lot of coverage. But we build a strategic context. So here's how we do that. As a PR hacker, we try lots of different media verticals. We want multiple media verticals working in parallel. For instance, we will do a story on, let's do a family and parenting story on 4 things that pets can teach your kids about life lessons. Then we'll do a money story. This is, again, the context around it, right? The money is the context. We'll do 5 ways to take better care of your pets and save an extra $100 per month. Now it's a personal finance story. That's the context. What really worked was we wanted to connect this. This is for the TV part. We wanted to get this on every TV morning show in the country if we could. And to do that, we knew that if it's just a pet story, we can get on some stations, maybe once or twice a month. But if it's a dating or relationship story that's interesting, we can get on everywhere, any day. So what we came up with, this was the strategic context. Which dog breed is most likely to score you a hot date? Okay. How many people here own a dog? Raise your hand. First of all, the women. Raise your hand if you have a golden retriever. Any of the women? Raise your hand if you have a Chihuahua. Okay. Okay. Here are the results for women in case you're curious. The best dog breed you could have to attract a guy at the dog park is a golden retriever. You're seen as sweet and loving and caring. And now this is a mass generalization, so please no offense taken. But if you have a Chihuahua, according to our survey of 1,000 people, you're viewed as hot but dumb and possibly high maintenance. Okay? So generalization, not important if it reflects reality. So here, guys, and some of the guys are like, ooh, I wasn't going to take notes, but this is good stuff. Okay, guys, if you want to attract girls at the dog park, the best dog breed you could have is it's actually a tie, either a Siberian Husky or a German Shepherd. You're seen as strong, protective, and a father figure. But if you have a pit bull, you're sketchy, slimy, and untrustworthy. Okay? So we packaged this. We did this. We created news. We did this interesting survey. The idea when Cody and Ann and I brainstormed this whole idea, we had just kind of seen the movie Must Love Dogs. If you've seen that movie with I think John Cusack and Diane Lane, and we're thinking, oh, we had this idea. What if we connect pets to something like relationships? And here's what's happened when we created that strategic context. This is today's show. 4 minutes, average about 7 million viewers. Kloof survey, dogs most likely to land you a date. This is Kathy Lee and Hoda going back and forth like, hey, Hoda, might need to pick up a golden retriever this weekend. Right? Going back and forth, all the while talking about Kloof. The website address and the app name are scrolling the whole time on the screen. 7 million viewers. Then it actually went, and what is extremely rare is to get all 3 of the top US morning shows all at once. So we actually got, at the same time, Good Morning America ran the story. CBS This Morning ran the story as well. So all 3 averaging 6 to 7 million viewers. I mean, total audience about 20 million just from that. Each ran it 3 to 4 minutes on air. And in addition to that, then all these local affiliates, all these local TV stations all across the country covered this. So in the title for this presentation, how to get $4.7 million worth of TV exposure without ever buying ads, that's from this example. And we picked that as a number because we wanted a number that would kind of draw people in, yes, but over the course of my career, I've personally been on 2,000 TV and radio shows, over 1,000 TV alone. So we kind of debated internally. We almost called this how to get tens of millions of dollars in TV exposure, because that's what I've done for myself over the year. But we thought, people aren't going to believe that. So we actually picked a lower number to make it a little bit more realistic for what people could expect. So that's where that comes from. And this is an example of the power of building strategic context. So we got the context. Let's talk about law number 2. Create story ideas, not press releases. Really critical for TV. I mean, press releases are in general never that effective. It's even less effective for TV. They're looking for things that are encapsulated. And you got to remember, the average TV appearance, if you're doing an interview, is like 3 minutes or under 3 minutes, right? They don't have a lot of time. So they need stuff in bite-sized, soundbite chunks. And it's your job when you do the pitch to do that for them. So this guy invented the press release. His name is Ivy Lee. He invented the press release in 1906 because the Pennsylvania Railroad had a train crash. 50 people were killed on their tracks. And all of a sudden, the New York Times was obviously writing a story, and they wanted to get their side of the story out. So a press release was designed for an already newsworthy event with a really big brand, like the Pennsylvania Railroad, to get their side of the story out. So it's great. Is anyone here the CEO of Microsoft? Raise your hand. CEO of Microsoft, new CEO. CEO of Apple. Is President Barack Obama here today? Tiger Woods? No, okay, no, those people can issue press releases because anything they do is newsworthy. For most of us that have a startup that is not as famous yet as it one day will be, we can't quite do that yet, right? So that's why it's not effective. So we need a different way. So my statement here, press releases don't work. There's an asterisk unless you are actually Bill Gates, Tiger Woods, President Obama, Google, or Coca-Cola. Then you can issue them. But I would even say, even for those people, a press release is not sufficient. There's actually a lot more you can do, even for the president, with the power of story ideas. Okay? So, at the core, we believe at PR Hacker in you first PR, not me first PR. Me first PR is a press release. It's saying, we are launching this product. This is an amazing feature that you should try out. We expand to 5 times our normal size when placed in water. Right? That's the me first approach. The you first approach is the audience is most important. How can we import knowledge, information, wisdom, advice? How can we entertain the audience, inspire the audience? And if we do that correctly, we will create a sales funnel directly to our product by putting the audience first. So, convert features into tips and advice. That's at the core of what creating a story idea is. Let me give you kind of a mathematical example. Anyone here like kind of an engineer or someone like analytical? Okay, okay, very good. All the other engineers are like, I'm not going to a PR presentation. Okay, so let's talk about a hypothetical example of a consumer. Let's say, let's pick a random consumer-facing topic. So let's say weight loss. Okay, let's say, does anyone here actually have some product related to weight loss? Okay. You actually have maybe a little bit. Okay, so let's say it's a product that, you know, it's an app or a website or a program or something. You can lose weight with it. Now, if you're in Silicon Valley, you got some cool tech way to do this. You know, it's the new Fitbit or something like that. Then what everyone says, you go to kind of, you know, you think traditionally about this, is they're like, okay, let's go to Bay Area Tech. I want to be in TechCrunch, right? I want to be in Pandal Daily. I want VentureBee. I want Mashable. So I can tell you, I just deal with this every day, there are 700 media contacts in the Bay Area that deal with tech. That's the universe of people you can pitch. Now, if we assume a low conversion rate, a 1% conversion rate, what that means is we pitch 700, whereas we're going to be conservative and not going to sort of estimate the media we can get. At a low conversion rate, that means we pitch 700 media contacts, 1% conversion, we get 7